Mă numesc Octavian Pasa, m-am născut 1978 în Alej, județul Bihor, Romania. Well, life in Romania was great as a kid. My dad left when I was 9, and at the time when he left, I didn't know why he left. Coming to find out 3 years later, he left because Romania was a communist country. He fled to the United States to give us a better life. But at the time, I didn't understand any of that. So, but life as a kid growing up in Romania was great.
What year did your dad leave?
He fled January of 1987. He fled to Yugoslavia back when Yugoslavia was still a country. From what I understand, it was pretty rough because January's in Eastern Europe could be pretty cold. So he stayed in the refugee camp for about 9 to 10 months, and he declared political asylum due to the regime, the communist regime that was in Romania for the past, I think it lasted for about 25 years. So that's why he escaped there in order to provide for his family. His first place that he lived, it was in Des Moines, Iowa. He was a mechanic, machinist, anything that had to do with engines. You know, he just a jack of all trades pretty much, but his passion was working on cars, motorcycles, engines, anything with an engine, lawnmower, chainsaw, you name it, he would love to tear it apart and fix it. While he was in Des Moines, Iowa, he worked for a company that made all the, that's one thing I remember, they made all grocery bags. For every grocery store bag at the bottom, you used to see their seal. I think it was like Stone Company or something like that. I could still remember the logo. So he worked there for a little while. Went to Alaska. He must say something in Alaska intrigued him of going there, so he went there. And apparently Alaska is a seasonal thing. He must have been there in the wrong season. I guess with work and everything, couldn't find any work at the time. Maybe times were rough. So he came to New Orleans. I don't know what drew him to New Orleans, but he came here and he never left. He called it home.
When did you move here, specifically?
August 1st, 1990. I can remember like it was yesterday. We left Romania. We landed in New York in JFK, and we went through customs, and that was the first place in the United States, and then we flew here. I mean, I didn't know anything, other than that. It was pretty different for me. I mean,
how was the adjustment?
Well, as a kid, it wasn't so bad. I mean, you're 12 years old. Obviously, I didn't speak the language, but kids find a way. And I lived in Fat City back at the time in the early '90s, and there was a mixture of people. There's Hispanics, blacks, whites. One of my best friends was Korean, so his name was Steve. There's a whole lot of different kind of people, and I learned a few things from each and every person. Actually, it's a funny story because when I left Romania, I finished 6th grade. School starts here like mid-August, August 1st. 2 weeks later, school started for me, and I was supposed to go into 7th grade. And my dad said, "Nah, there's no way you're going to school." I stayed home for a year, so I had like a whole year vacation. First school I went to was in 8th grade, so I ended up skipping 7th grade. I went to 8th grade is Meisler Middle School, and then after high school I went to Grayskin High School. For me, high school was a good experience. I played a little bit of sports, and soccer had to be one of the dominant sports, so I grew up with playing soccer, and made a lot of friends and had good times. Well, growing up, I worked at a restaurant, busting tables, but everybody did that. Who didn't work at a restaurant? But after that, I kind of got into a trade. Started working for a company that services office equipment. So still to this day, I'm doing the same thing. Worked out pretty good. I met my wife about 7-8 years ago, and I've been married for 5 years. We have a 1.5-year-old, Gabriel. He's amazing.
Why do you decide to stay in New Orleans?
Well, for me, it was, when I came, like, once again, when we left Romania at such a young age, you left everything behind. You left your friends, you left the language, you left everything. So growing up here with just my parents and my brother and my sister, everyone that I met and became a friend, not only was a friend, but it was a family. So for me, not having any family here, this was my family. I already lost a group of family and friends. And at this age, being that my roots are here now with my son being born, this is home for me. I know I wasn't born here, but my roots are here. New Orleans is home.